Alright, people. So Raw was a Christmas miracle. And why was it a Christmas miracle? Because there was actually some shit on there that was actually good. Now, a typical Raw you expect, maybe you're going to get some good shit, maybe a match or two that's going to be good. But when you get something like this, like a Raw Christmas, you just expect everything to be bad. So when you get not just one, but multiple good things, I mean, it's truly a miracle that we did get some good shit tonight. The show still wasn't that like too impressive. It's not like it was great or anything, but I mean, it was still some good things on there. Let me just get to the review here. So to start off the show, we have Cena and Hogan. Of course, Cena and Hogan coming out to start the show. They call him Ho Ho Hogan, and that's what he kind of is, a hoe, because all he does is he does what WWE wants him to. He sucks John Cena's cock like 24/7. He's a fucking a bitch to WWE, a fucking hoe. That's what he is, because he fucking just sucks Cena's dick every single time they're together. I mean, it's fucking like Cena just might as well pull his pants down, come out fucking in the nude, and have Hogan just suck his dick the whole time. I mean, it's ridiculous how these two people are just obsessed with each other. Um, so I mean, Hogan's not saying how great Cena is and shit. I mean, he wasn't really pushing Cena too much, but I mean, it was just like a giant love fest between the two. And of course, you always get a lot of recapping on the first segment usually. This is nothing but nothing different here really. And Hogan's dressed up as fucking Santa Claus. I mean, they've done a really great job of, for the past, it's been almost a year now since he returned, just turning Hogan into WWE's bitch and just ruining him. I can't remember one time he's come out and not said something about breast cancer, the WWE Network, or John Cena. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous what they're doing with Hogan. I mean, he's like you made Vince McMahon all this money, and now he's pretty much Vince's marketing tool. I mean, it's ridiculous what they're doing with Hogan, and then Cena is fucking out there. It's just a fucking mess. And then thank God at least somebody with some talent comes out, Seth Rollins, and cuts actually a good promo. I enjoyed it. Um, it was a 180 from Hogan and Cena's Love Fest. Actually, a serious promo, actually a good promo, and actually a promo that was very true. So then we get a fucking match between Cena and Rollins that's gonna come up next, made by Hogan, who's supposedly the Raw general manager. But overall, I mean, Rollins promo was good, but the Hogan and Cena promo just weighed it down too much. So overall, this was a pretty shitty segment. Then we get Cena defeating Rollins in a good match. I mean, this is what people don't understand about Cena. Yeah, he's shitty. He's fucking stupid with his PG gimmick and shit. You can't see me. My time is up, or my time is now. I mean, yeah, Cena sucks. I mean, he's been on top forever. He rarely puts anybody over. He's boring as shit. He's acts like a 9-year-old. Oh, yeah, his character is really shitty. But you have to say he puts on good matches, especially in big time scenarios. I mean, look back at this year. He's been involved, or he's put on a lot of great one-on-one matches with, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins, and even looking back in the past with his matches with Punk and, just a lot of great matches. You have to admit, Lesnar, even he had a few good matches with Lesnar. You have to admit he's put on a lot of great matches and been involved in a lot of great feuds. Maybe not great feuds, but great matches. And but he still fucking sucks. But this match was a good match. I'll give it a 3.25 out of 5 stars. A shitty ending there, I thought, where it's like basically 3-on-1, and Cena just AA's everybody. I mean, it was like AA, he did the double AA, which was cool, but I mean, it was like 3-on-1, and then he just beats everybody. It's like, here comes Super Cena again. I mean, it's ridiculous what they do with Cena. I mean, remember that steel cage match he had with Bray Wyatt, where he's like overpowering two people at once? When they had Harper and Rowan pushing on the door, and they had Cena on the other end pushing on the door. I'm like, and Cena's winning. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? But, you know, it was a good match. So I give it 3.25 out of 5 stars. Disappointed with the ending and how Cena basically just took over the fucking match and how just basically just beat down everybody pretty much. Then we get Fandango, and yeah, after this, Raw just took a shit pretty much with some stupid matches. Fandango defeats Jack Swagger in just a pointless, short, and stupid match. I give it 0 out of 5 stars. I mean, they're just destroying the product by putting on matches like this with Fandango dressed up in a fuck. I mean, it's ridiculous what these wrestlers wear to the ring. I mean, doesn't this prohibit their ability to wrestle? I mean, you got Fandango in this dance outfit. You got fucking Kane in dress pants. I mean, it's like, you know, and the Shield was in that weird outfit too, that black uniform. Don't you think that prohibits their wrestling ability? So anyway, just a stupid match there. Then we get R-Truth defeating Adam Rose in another pointless, short, and stupid match. The only reason I'm giving it 1 out of 5 stars is because after the match, Rose attacks Bunny. It was actually not a bad beatdown. And, you know, seeing the Bunny get beat up, I mean, it was kind of cool. So I give it 1 out of 5 stars. And then we get Roman 5 Moves Reigns defeating the Big Show via countout. I thought it was kind of stupid how it was via countout. I mean, if you're going to push this guy, I mean, at least make him win matches in a legitimate fashion. I mean, the babyface usually doesn't get a countout victory. You expect the heel sometimes to get a countout victory, but not the babyface. So it kind of felt weird. I mean, there was one good spot in this match of the Superman punch, the jumping Superman punch, a retarded ass punch. But I mean, it looked kind of cool. The Big Show going over the table. But that was the only good move, so I gave it 3/4 out of 5 stars for that move. But overall, a shitty match between two shitty wrestlers, one of which should be retired and one of which shouldn't even came in the company to begin with. Then we get Natalya defeating Brie Bella. Actually, not a horrible match. Actually, I thought it was pretty decent. You had some good moves in there. It was short, but I mean, there was some good moves in there, so I'm going to give it 2.75 out of 5 stars. I mean, yes, it was short, but I'll reward good wrestling, so yeah. And yeah, Natalya actually knows how to fucking wrestle. She actually knows how to put on a good match. You look at me, and there's a lot of divas in the WWE that know how to wrestle. But the Divas division is just so corrupted by just fucking shitty storylines. This total Divas thing is at the forefront of it. It just weighs down the Divas division. Because 1 week you have this person coming out as a face, and next week you'll have this person coming out as a heel, the same person coming out as a heel with no baby face or heel turn. It just makes no sense. You don't know what the fuck's going on. So then we get the Matadors and the Bull dressed up as a motherfucking reindeer. Yeah, you know, motherfucking reindeer. Just send them to the North Pole. I mean, it's just get him the fuck out of this company. I mean, it's ridiculous how he's fucking beating up normal sized guys. I mean, does that make sense to you? He's in the ring with Cody Rhodes, and he's beating him up. Is there any logic there? I mean, you got a fucking 2-foot bull who's hardly even wrestled, beating up a former champion who's been in the company for years. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, it's just ridiculous. He's beating up top level guys. Maybe not main event guys, but I mean, legitimate guys who are former champions. I mean, it's ridiculous what they're doing with this motherfucking bull. So then we get the Matadors, of course, winning. I mean, if I had to pick somebody to win, it would be the Goldust and Stardust. I mean, they're much better than fucking, you know, bull fucking killers or whatever the fuck, Matadors, whatever the fuck they do. I think they do the thing with the fucking cape or whatever. It's fucking retarded. You know, I mean, I don't get that sport at all. We're gonna fucking hold up a cape for a bull to run under, then we're gonna kill it. I mean, and I think it's kind of cruel too to kill a bull like that. I mean, and people are cheering. Like, how can you get entertainment out of killing animals? I mean, I get the idea of killing animals for food, but do they even eat the bull? Do they even use the bull? I mean, what's the point of that? Like, I'm not one of these animal people who are like, oh, don't kill the animals. You know, like even vegans, I mean, you're still killing a fucking plant. I mean, it's still a living thing. It just doesn't move. Like, I'm not one of these big animals people or whatever. But I mean, come on. I mean, it's a stupid fucking sport. I mean, we're gonna hold up a cape for a bull to run under, and then we're gonna fucking spear it with a spear. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I guess it's a different call. Oh, and then the running of the bulls too. I mean, yeah, we're gonna run in a fucking street with motherfucking bulls running. I mean, what the fuck is that? I mean, I thought our country was retarded. You know, our people are retarded. But I mean, if you look at other countries where they run down the street with bulls, you know, that could potentially kill them. I mean, where's the entertainment out of that? I just don't get it. You know, the world's a really retarded place with retarded people in it. So, yeah, and especially these creative people who come up with these gimmicks. I mean, they're just right up there with the people who run with the bulls. I mean, they're probably even more stupid than them. So then, after that debacle, we have Ziggler defeating Harper. Actually, a good match. Actually, a good match. I give it 3.25 out of 5 stars. And another good match here from Ziggler and Harper. I mean, Harper knows how to fucking wrestle. I mean, he's a big guy, but he still does some cool moves and shit. I like the suicide. I like his suicide dive. He also does a cool move where he like picks the guy up and slams his face into the ground. It's a really, you know, it's a move filled with impact. So I mean, and Ziggler too. Obviously, we've seen over the years he's a good wrestler. He knows how to fucking sell. And people, oh, he oversells. You know, I enjoy his selling. I think it's cool how he sells moves really good. Um, so overall, a good match here. I'll give it 3 point. I already said that, but 3.25 out of 5 stars. But I mean, Ziggler wins. Yeah. And, you know, him being Intercontinental Champion. I mean, he's been it what 4 times before. I was kind of hoping for him to move on to bigger and better things than this, but I guess it's kind of a good temporary thing. I mean, there's a lot of attention on him right now. Probably one of the top feuds right now. And I mean, it's kind of making the title worth a shit. I mean, remember when people like Axel had it and Barrett, you know, and the title was basically a piece of shit. It's kind of being elevated and now it's more prestigious because it's been in, you know, a few good matches with Harper and Ziggler. So, I mean, it's kind of more prestigious now. But if you look at the U.S. title, which you just basically forget about it kind of because, I mean, Rusev has it, but it's not even really being mentioned that much. I mean, it's not really being defended. You know, was it defended against Swagger? I don't even know if that was a title match. But I mean, it doesn't even seem like a legitimate belt because in the Ziggler Harper feud, we didn't even know really who's gonna win. Especially when this match where they had Harper attack Ziggler, you're like, oh, Ziggler might lose. So I mean, they've been doing a great job of what this belt is of late. Then we get Piper's Pit with Rusev and Lana. I thought this was pretty stupid. Like, if you're gonna have a Piper's Pit, at least have it with somebody who's good. Rusev isn't good. I mean, Rusev debuted what fucking a year ago at the Rumble, and he hasn't even lost yet. And all he's faced is pretty much jobbers. I mean, who has he faced that's good? Big E Langston? I mean, you know, Jack Swagger? I mean, who the fuck? He's faced fucking jobbers for fucking a year. I mean, that is just retarded right there. Again, there's no fucking reason in the creative team. I mean, yeah, I guess it's alright for him to face jobbers for a few weeks, you know, to establish him as a monster, but not a fucking year. I mean, come on. His career's going to be over before he faces anybody that's worth a shit. I mean, he's just going to face jobbers for the rest of his career. Yeah, I was fucking 1,856 and I beat all the jobbers and I didn't get a shot at the title ever. You know, it's going to be fucking Rusev. So then we get but anyway, the segment was I thought they could have had it with somebody who's actually good. But, I mean, it was stupid. It didn't even go on for that long. It could have been better. And then Ryback, you know, fucking Piper's, I have a present for you. And then Ryback comes out, you know, of course, fucking Ryback. You know, and then, again, this is this is going to be a feud between two of the fucking worst people in the company, in my opinion. Rusev, a guy, you know, Rusev and Ryback are kind of identical, except Rusev's a little bit more of a fat ass. And not much of a brawl here to speak of, and not much of a segment either. I mean, they could have done a lot more with this segment, I thought, with fucking Piper, but they didn't really do much. Then we get Emma, Naomi, and Alicia Fox defeating Summer, Cameron, and Paige. And this is what I'm talking about. You have Emma, who's a babyface, Naomi, who's a babyface, and Alicia Fox, who's, I guess, a babyface now? You know, I don't know. Defeating Summer, Cameron, and Paige. It just a boring match. I give it a half star out of 5. Just a match I don't care about. I mean, who the fuck cares about these jobbers? I mean, I guess I care about Paige a little bit. But other than that, I don't really care. I mean, you got fucking Naomi in there too, who actually has talent, but they're fucking wasting her. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. But Naomi's one of the most talented divas, probably the most athletic in the company. She could do some pretty crazy shit in there. And they're fucking wasting her. She's not even. They wasted her for a year, putting her on that retarded fat ass Brodus Clay, being Brodus Clay's dancing hose. I mean, it was just retarded. She actually had talent, and they wasted her for like a year or two with Brodus Clay, which was also a waste. Having Brodus Clay dance around and jiggling his fucking, rolls for fucking 2 years, that was a waste as well. So then, the match ends. Who the fuck cares, really? Then we get Miz defeating one of the Usos. Not a good match here. I mean, Sandow does keep me interested, doing his fucking shit, which is kind of funny. Yeah, but not a good match here. I'll give it 1 out of 5 stars. I mean, I've had it with the Usos. I mean, they're the fucking worst. I mean, they're worse than the Matadors, because at least the Matadors aren't on TV every week. At least they're not winning the Slammies. I mean, the Matadors are shitty, but at least they get what they deserve. They don't get the belts. They don't get a prime spot on TV. The Usos are on TV every week, fucking, jumping up and down, acting like 9-year-olds. I mean, and then, doing their fucking same few moves every match. I mean, go back to fucking Rikishi's house, the Usos. You fucking are retarded as shit, and you suck dick. So then we get one of these. This really pissed me off too. I mean, it's every fucking legend praises Cena. So then we have this jobber actor from one of these jobber Christmas movies. And like, yeah, this guy was from A Christmas Story or whatever. And of course, what does he do? What does he do? What does he do? He does this. He does the Cena sign. Just fucking, yeah, that's all we want is more fucking Cena. It's just, I've had it with all these retarded legends promoting Cena and all these actors promoting Cena. Then we get fucking Wyatt cutting a promo. I actually thought it was not bad. It was short. I usually don't cover this, but I thought might as well since it was live. He talks about a world with, it was like, oh, my world is no Santa or whatever, no Christmas. So I thought it was kind of a pretty good promo here. Then we get the fucking main event with Bray Wyatt defeating Dean Ambrose. I thought overall it was a good match. To give it 3.25 out of 5 stars. You had a table spot during the match, which was a pretty decent table spot. You had, some pretty good moves there. I thought it was a kind of a stupid ending there with a kendo stick to the head. I thought if you're gonna do an ending in a fucking TLC match or whatever, a Miracle on 34th Street fight or whatever, do something better than a kendo stick to the eye. I mean, it didn't even look bad. I mean, do a table spot, do a ladder spot, do something. But I mean, I still thought overall it was a good match. And kind of stupid how they made Bray Wyatt win again. I mean, if they want to push Dean Ambrose, and they're putting him in high-profile matches, they're putting him in the main event, they give him a fucking win every once in a while. But then after the match, he gets the upper hand on Bray Wyatt, so why just not make him win in the first place? Again, like there was a lot of good wrestling today, for the most part. A lot more than you would expect on a typical Raw, but it's just like the shittiness of the creative team just weighs it down so much. I feel like if there was no creative team, the product would be much better. Like, if you just let the wrestlers do whatever the fuck they want, I think the product would be much better. I mean, I made the analogy with the pitcher and catcher multiple times. I mean, the pitcher's the one in control. The catcher's there to guide him. I mean, and the pitcher can shake off the catcher. So that, I mean, the pitcher's ultimately in control of his fucking pitches. So you know, just the decisions from the creative team are just retarded. Vince is fucking retarded. Triple H is probably retarded as too. You know, I would say Triple H is half retarded and Vince is probably fully retarded. And CM Punk said it best in his promo. Vince is a millionaire who should be a billionaire. So not a bad show tonight. I guess I'll give it, I don't know, 4.5 out of 10 stars. A lot of stupid shit, but he had a few good matches in there. So, but still, I thought the show was pretty kind. It was kind of boring. It had its good moments. It had its shitty moments, which outweighed the good ones. But still, it had some good matches on there. So, and yeah. I mean, but from what I was expecting, it was much better from what I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting a 0-star show, and then we got 4.5-star show. So, not a bad show tonight. So, there's your Raw review, people. So there you go.